guys, it's the Doll Place, and today we are going behind the scenes of our latest ambitious photo, and this time we are recreating Elsa from Frozen 2.
And to be more specific, we are doing the scene of Show Yourself from Frozen 2 where she has this really beautiful dress. We're not going to show anything from this scene because it's honestly kind of a spoiler, but let's get on to the making of the doll version of this. So the first thing was obviously her dress, and I made a pattern completely out of paper and tape showing the part that would be the light organza, that is kind of like sheer, and then the paper part is what is going to be the satin, and that is the first piece, and that's going to come down into a like train type thing, I guess, and it has this crazy complicated design. So yeah, that's piece number 1. Then there's piece number 2, and this later got modified to not have this little sleeve thing on the top. I don't know why I did that. So here is piece 1 and 2 together. Then there's piece 3, which is a sleeve, and then there is the 4th piece, which is the actual skirt, and this is going to be dyed purple because that's like the part that's under it. Then there is piece 5, which is the pants, and then piece 6, which is the very long 3-foot train that comes off both of her shoulders. We're going to cut this out of the fabric.
Yeah, and we're just trying to put as much detail as possible because this dress is just so intricate and full of little tiny things that you don't really notice until you really give a good hard look at it.
We also got this fabric dye because, like we said, we wanted that perfect purple color, and in some areas we needed it to be ombre, so we had to hand dye it. Now this looks very blue on camera, but I can assure you it is incredibly purple, which you guys will see later. Just the bottle on camera looks really blue. It's weird.
So this is the fabric that we'll be making the pants out of. So it's just this holographic sparkly things. It looks very, very similar to the movie, so it was just perfect for that.
We also got these paints. Now we got just some normal paints to be some symbols that go on the floor of the set, and then we did get we found these like metallic reflective paints, both in different shades of blue. So perfect for the set when we get to that. Okay, so we have piece 1 cut out of the satin fabric, and it's a very complicated design, and every part of this has to be hemmed over, like very tiny hems, and we're doing this just with sewing pins to fold it over, and you guys can see just how detailed and microscopic all this is, and it's all these sharp corners and twists and turns, and this was a crazy process, and this took about 6 hours. I'm not joking. Maybe even more than that. That's kind of generous. I think it was probably around 9 hours of the day. I just stayed at it for one whole day, and it was all just sewing pins and sewing it. Yeah, it was crazy. And here is what it looks like, and you guys can see it completely hemmed over, and like I said, took a very, very long time, but it does look just like the design. We even hemmed the bottom parts, and absolutely everything is hemmed, and piece 1 is ready.
Then we cut piece 2 out of the organza.
And this is the part that's kind of like the sheer part in between, but of course we did kind of double layer this so it wasn't too sheer because that would be kind of weird. We also cut out the sleeves and the pants while we were at it, and yeah, everything has been cut out, so we just then sewed it together like we said we would, and it looks something like this, and I think this looks really, really cool, and yeah, as you guys can tell, it's the sheer part is the organza, and it still has a lot of layers, and there's going to be some embellishments over top of that part. So yeah,
so we're going to add diamonds in all of these empty sections here. We're just going to fill it in, and yeah, she's going to sparkle.
But before we do that, of course, like we said, we are hand dyeing some of the fabric. So we just had this Rit dye thing, and it's just to dye fabric, and we have to basically boil some water and dip it in for a while and pull it out to kind of get that ombre look on the train, and then for the skirt piece we can just soak it in. So yeah.
As you guys can see, we have a steaming hot pot of water, and with dye, of course, and we are going to be dyeing this tulle. So here we go.
And this was just our test piece.
Yeah, so don't be scared. We didn't just like rush into it. But yeah, it's kind of the perfect color. So look at us go.
Okay, so here is the trains dyed.
And yeah, I think they turned out exactly how we wanted. The color was just right. So yeah, we really got that perfect purple.
And we also dyed the skirt pieces, and yeah, that's also the same great purple. Next, we sewed the pants, and we didn't show the finished product for some reason, but here is what the dress ended up looking like, all sewn together with the diamonds added and jewels and everything, and the sleeves, but that didn't get recorded for some reason. But
so yeah, there it is.
And like here it is in the doll, if you're wondering what it looks like. So moving on to the actual set itself, we have this giant piece of cardboard that is like paper mache together, and it's very, very large. It's about 4.5 feet. It's big, and we're just painting this entire thing a deep, 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 deep blue with some gloss over it, so it's really, really reflective, and yeah. It's gonna take a long time. So here's what it looks like after it was painted, and yeah, it's huge. We also painted the backdrop, which is this crystal look.
So the next part we are working on is this centerpiece, and we wanted it to light up, so we're using clear plastic underneath, and we just sketched out what the shape is going to look like. So there's going to be 4 separate pieces, but they're all going to interconnect, and yeah.
And this was actually our doll organizers, but we're not going to get into that. Okay, so here it is painted with some Mod Podge, and it's very sheer paint so that light can still come through. And yeah, we're going to be putting the big blue cardboard over this. This is just like the part that lights up in the middle.
So then, okay, so anyways, then we cut out a shape in the blue hunk of cardboard so that the glow section could show through. So then here's the glow section popping through, and this is our set.
And we have Caroline out there, and she has a little bit of like watercolor washable paint on her face to be her lips and her eyeshadow, which we didn't show. And we also made Iduna, spoiler warning.
And Iduna Jr.
We made the old Queen Iduna and then Iduna when she was younger so that she could be edited into the reflections of the Ada Holland scene thing. And here is what the photo ended up looking like, and it was a lot of fun to do. This is seriously a really cool photo because I love Frozen 2 so much, and I feel like this looks just like the movie, but in a doll version.
And I love you guys. Goodbye.